I'm here today with Stephanie Vega Ziegler, Director of Environmental Product Strategy for Ferguson, and Amy Hamp Davies, Director of Business Development for Sustainable Living at Kohler. Today, we're going to talk about Environmental Product Declarations, or EPDs. Let's go ahead and dive in. I have some questions for you. Steph, tell us, what is an EPD and why is it important?
Sure. Thank you. And I'd say I think of an EPD as a nutrition label for a product or building material. As you said, it stands for Environmental Product Declaration, and it really is a standardized document that communicates the environmental performance and human health of a product over its lifetime. And it's really based off of the results of a product's life cycle assessment, which really, an LCA assesses the potential environmental impacts throughout a product's life cycle, from natural resource acquisition to production and use stage, and ultimately to the end of life disposal or recycling of that product. And another thing I'd like to just kind of peg onto that is that a key component of an EPD are PCRs, which is a product category rule. And these rules really outline what data needs to be collected for a specific type of product. As a result, an EPD enables a standard of comparison between different products in the same category. So that this is why EPDs are important, because they offer us the ability to compare products and ultimately make selections that have the least environmental impact. The EPD itself doesn't actually make a product more sustainable. It's really understanding that comparison between two different products.
Thanks, Steph. That's helpful. So, Amy, the process of verifying a product with an environmental product declaration is not totally streamlined. So tell us about the Kohler products that have EPDs, and were these products specifically designed with sustainability in mind? Did you redesign existing products to enhance their sustainability, or did you start from scratch?
So thank you, Sarah, for having me. So I would say it's all of the above for Kohler. We've been on this journey of product sustainability for a very long time. And so when we first started learning about EPDs and the need of our customers to have this documentation, we certainly took existing products to go through a testing process and gathering that data in order to inform the EPD, which would say, what is the makeup and material set and longevity and carbon footprint of that product. And as we have continued to evolve and our customer needs have evolved, we've had to look at our existing portfolio and identify where we can improve from an environmental sustainability standpoint in terms of how we make those products. And so we do have a set of products that would have gone through a re-engineering process to become more sustainable. And then we also will go through the process of our brand new products that we bring to market every year to ensure that they are meeting the standards that we set for ourselves and that are following certain standards like WaterSense, so that we have products that are meeting those sustainability needs of our customers through our new product portfolio. So it really is a range of products, that we have from, original products that, we just went through the testing to see where we were at as a baseline. And then where did we have to evolve and engineer and then innovate new products throughout the process to be able to give our customers the solutions that they need.
Thanks, Amy. Steph, not all EPDs are created equal. Talk about high versus low quality EPDs, and specifically what makes an EPD high quality.
Sure. So first, it's critical that each EPD provides the lifecycle assessment results specific to that single product only. If a lifecycle assessment or LCA is produced for a group of products, it averages the results of all products in that same family, which ends up making some look better than they should. And then second, and hopefully this is pretty obvious, but at any high quality EPD will always include all stages of the product life cycle. Finally, high quality EPDs present declarations for specific data. So this guarantees that the results are based on actual supplier data rather than less accurate and industry or global averages.
Amy, give us an example. How does Kohler ensure that your product EPDs are high quality? And how do you also ensure accountability and transparency? How do you back up your claims?
Yeah, absolutely. So we look at a set of criteria when we evaluate the sustainable attributes of a product. And so that will include its carbon footprint, its water usage, its waste impact, its chemical impact. So there's a whole host of environmental attributes that we evaluate for the products that we bring to market. And certainly through the process of going through an EPD application. We utilize third-party verification firms to validate the data that we collect for our products before we actually publicize an EPD of our products. So those third-party verification, that process is really important to us because it does, provide that transparency and that consistency that we're not creating our own benchmarks. We're looking to that third-party verification firm to do that, to assess the data and to ensure that we meet the requirements, to enable an EPD to be created.
Steph, what are some of the challenges Ferguson is facing with respect to accessing products with EPDs for distribution through your channels?
Yeah, as we've discussed, one of the most impactful reasons for having EPDs is that they really enable us to compare products to one another. Of course, this requires that each product has an EPD, and unfortunately, not all suppliers currently have EPDs for their products. So, and they are quite costly. So it is an investment for an organization to begin to look under the hood, if you will, of how these products are manufactured. But it does give us a really exciting opportunity to influence the industry by highlighting the work that we're doing with Kohler as it relates to Ferguson exclusive products that carry EPDs now with the collaboration that we've endeavored over the last several months. So we're confident that that'll spur more suppliers to embrace EPDs, but ultimately it's what the market demands, and that's what will truly move the needle. So the more we get requests from designers or builders, architects, engineers for these kinds of for this kind of documentation, the more manufacturers and suppliers will be will have an incentive to create these kinds of documents associated with their products.
And Amy, what were some of the challenges Kohler faced when getting EPDs for your products?
Having a process internally of being able to understand the environmental footprint of our products at the scale that we operate in itself was a Herculean challenge. To be able to execute life cycle assessments at our scale has taken us 15 years to get to where we're at today. And, we're excited to share that we'll be complete with that process in just a few more years. I would say today, our challenges is having the third-party verification companies with the right capacity to be able to meet the demand that we are now seeing from our customers for this documentation. So while we are able to supply those third-party verifiers with the information, we're leaving it in their hands to be able to verify it and to supply us with the actual documentation. And that has been challenging just given the sheer demand and interest in EPD documentation from our customers. So navigating that has been a more recent challenge for us.
Wonderful. Well, Steph, Amy, thank you both so much for being here with me today. Very interesting conversation. And we look forward to continuing the dialogue as the world of EPDs evolves.